Welcome in. Just Kings coming up next. Welcome in, everybody. Back with another Just Kings podcast today. My name's RJ. We got Drew with me today, and we're covering the Ducks and the Kings. 6-3 victory over the Ducks. All right, first point, obviously, we got to talk about Phoenix Copley. Fire me up, baby. Let's go. Taking a little cheap shot to the face and then just taking the blocker to that guy's face a couple of times. That was great to see from Copley.
I actually didn't know that was illegal. Now I know that it's apparently cement.
Yeah, it's pretty much cement.
So that could definitely be assault. Yeah, that could definitely be assault.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah. Nevertheless.
But it shouldn't be a penalty in my mind.
No, not when you get cheap shotted.
Yeah, I know. It's retaliation.
Respect.
But yeah, the damn Ducks trying to start crap when they're down. I mean, it all started with that guy taking his stick and just poking Copley in the gut with it, and then defense jumps in, and then this guy just punches Copley out of nowhere. I mean,
yeah,
that's one way to fire up your team. We just punch the other goalie in the face. Sure, that'll work.
Yeah. And he gets no penalty, so it's like, all right, yeah.
I mean, sure. When you're skating forward this way and you go, bah, no referee's gonna see that. So.
Yeah, that's just a cheap shot, dirty play. He got his ass beat, and it was for good reason. So.
And then even the announcers started talking about that Twitter post, and I'll put that up on the screen right now if I remember. But what even is the Ducks social media Twitter page doing? Like, Copley wanted this. He wasn't gonna get smoked, but he wanted to fight Gibson. He was charging straight at him, and the referee split him up. Like, he was ready to beat the crap out of Gibson. Like, yeah, it was an L post.
He wanted to smoke.
Yeah.
And the referee or the linesman, whoever it was, I forgot.
Referee got Copley, linesman got Gibson.
Let us see a goalie fight. That would have been electric. I don't know if you heard this stat. Did you hear how long it's been since a goalie got ejected?
Ejected? No, because even like when they get in fights, they don't get ejected. They just stay in the game.
Or they got kicked out of the game. I think they said like 2002.
Dude, that's. I mean,
Phoenix Copley's a sack.
Here's what I don't get. I get why the blocker punch, like, it's illegal and it should be, right? You can seriously hurt somebody like that, and that's not something the game needs. But you've seen like goalies punch other people with their blocker on, but like this is the first time I've seen a goalie get full on ejected. Maybe it's just because Copley went bam, 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 bam like 20 times in the guy's face, so maybe that's why, just the pure amount of it. But like you've seen other goalies like punch a guy in the gut or the face.
A little jab.
Yeah. Like when Quickie got ran over a couple years ago, he just turned around and started punching that guy. Or like back in the day when the goalies got run over, they would be the first one punching the guy in the face. So like I know it's probably newer with like trying to keep the stars in the game to make it more exciting for the fans to watch, but I really haven't ever heard of a goalie getting kicked out for punching somebody with their blockers, so it's just new to me. But
yeah, kind of lame.
We got through it.
I did want to bring up this point. I saw Doughty said on Copley's match penalty, and he said, "I'm glad he stood up for himself, and I'm glad everyone on the ice did as well." But yeah, whatever. He got kicked out, but we still won. That is just absolute savage.
Yeah.
That is an unreal quote, and that's just kicking them when they're down, and I love it.
You really hate to see it from Ducks fans or Duck
players. They just got bullied, unfortunately. Yeah. The Ducks got bullied, the fans got bullied, and then Doughty has the balls to say it felt more like a home game than an away game.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. There's like sometimes where it was a Ducks chant and like they're playing it over the loud system and you could just hear "Go Kings Go." I'm like, sure, Ducks fans don't want to show up.
I mean, rough.
Going back to that Twitter thing, the reply from the Kings, Copley has more wins than you guys the whole season. Like, that's just amazing to see from the Kings PR people. So love to see that.
That's just a violation, bro.
Yeah. Like, there's not there you can't really even respond to that. Like, what are you gonna say?
So I think
we got Connor Bedard. Oh,
yeah,
that's all I can say.
But going back to Copley, so you and I are both in agreement that he gets the nod again tomorrow.
Well, okay, we did talk about that a little bit, but Does he though? He played 2 periods. I know Quickie probably got the most stressful period out of the whole night, but it's the Coyotes. Quickie is the more veteran in this area of getting back-to-back starts. Like he's done that before in his career. And I know he's not the hottest goalie right now, but do you give his experience of doing this start, or do you go with Copley, who's never done this in his NHL career?
Yeah, so it's a super tough one. What I do, I honestly go sit down with Copley, ask him how his body feels, ask him about, you know, everything. Just say, how are you feeling? Do you need a night? He'll probably say no because he wants to be the big dog. But if he has any sort of slight hesitation, you go quick.
Or
And honestly, this could be a Cal Peterson time.
see,
Which
I was gonna say that, and what I think if Phoenix Copley gets suspended before the game tomorrow, I don't know where the Reign. If the Reign are at home, they have enough time to get their goalie there, right? But at this point, I don't think we call up Peterson again, right? I mean, I know yes he has that terrible contract, but cap space. We need cap space to make a trade right now. If we call Peterson up, we'll have another
that's
5 mil and we'll be over cap space if we can't sign anyone, right? So if anything, I
that's a
think we
big one.
call up Matt Villarta and give him the start.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about
And
because
also,
especially with it seems like a trade is looming. So
yeah, and also I know Peterson will clear waivers of his $5 million contract, but putting Peterson on waivers versus Matt Villarta, like who's gonna clear that easier? And I think Matt Villarta is. So
yeah,
all right, Jonathan Quick, we'll give him the victory for today, even though I think it still officially goes to Copley because we didn't lose the lead, but yeah, I mean.
did you notice the Kings started playing a little bit different again?
I mean, yes and no, but like he True Quick made the second goal that he let in. He made those 2 great saves before it, but even like the where he was making those saves, he's still 2-3 feet out of his crease. Like
Yeah,
I I can't like really truly remember back in 2012 because in 2014 of how Quick's play style was, but I really don't think like he was this far out of his crease consistently.
he's always been sprawling. He's a one of those guys.
Yeah, yeah,
But
but
that doesn't mean you're 3 feet out of the
yeah,
crease.
he's always been like in the splits in his crease going across. It's never been him going across 4 feet out of his crease.
Yeah,
And then he fell
I don't
over
know.
today as well, so he's just not looking comfortable. I think is
Yeah,
I don't know.
there's no good way to put it. That's why I wouldn't start him tomorrow.
Hmm.
Um, and obviously Phoenix Copley is our number one. But you know,
Player
um,
safety better give us a little leeway here. Say,
yeah,
hey Copley, you're all right. You didn't mean to punch him 20 times in the face. So you can go ahead and start tomorrow.
yeah, it's a tough decision, man. It's not a tough decision. If he does get suspended, we're kind of screwed.
Hmm.
Um, which I don't even know. I'm pretty sure after you get kicked out of a game, they automatically go look at it.
Any game
Player
misconduct,
safety, right?
yeah, player safety goes over it to make sure that there's nothing worth suspending over it. Or if they deem that the 5 minutes in game was enough, then they don't give an extra suspension. So it
Yeah.
just depends on the malice of the play, if that's the right
And
word.
this will come out before the game tomorrow, so we'll know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. We're not even gonna discuss if he does happen to get a game or two
Hmm.
because it's not worth a headache.
And potentially more than that.
Yeah, it's not. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because then again, you can't just trade for a goalie for 10 games
Mhm.
unless he's a long term. Never mind.
Yeah. All right. Next point before we go down the rabbit hole, our forward depth. I mean, having your third best goal scorer on the third line or fourth line, sorry, and having your second best on the third line. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, with Velarde back in the lineup now, we have 4 insane lines that I think any point of the game, any of those lines can take over the game. Like you saw today, like the fourth line was buzzing the whole game. Like they had a ton of O time, and they took a lot of quality shots on goal. I mean, they didn't come away with a goal on that, but holy crap.
They're insane. The forward line is just insane, and Don't forget you have LA Kings legend Carl Grundstrom coming back soon. Uh, um, just kidding. Sorry, Carl. But dude, like having Velarde on the fourth is like stupid. You have
Hmm.
Velarde and Kaliev on the fourth line, who both are insane. They have different shots. Like
Hmm.
they just have their shots are just different, especially Kaliev. And you're telling me he's a fourth liner? Like that's unreal. Look at other teams' fourth lines though. They're nowhere near like this level.
I mean, look at our
And
fourth line last year. It was Lazat, Grunstrom, and Lemieux. It was just a purely energy line. Like I know Grunstrom has a
yeah,
decent shot, but like they couldn't take over a game and have real O time. And now our fourth line is pretty insane. So it's great.
yeah. Plus you have a good mix of a guy that'll play some defense on each line, which I love.
Hmm.
And Lazat, Kupari,
Kopi
second line. I
and Dano.
Kopi for sure. Dano, even Trevor Moore pinches back. You know, you got some
Kevin
solid
Fiala plays
guys.
a lot of defense, eh?
Yeah, defense.
defense
Yeah,
core, defense specialist. I call
yeah. Offensive menace. Defensive. Sorry,
him. All right,
we don't
but
need him though
this
to play
point just
defense.
blends right into our next line is the offensive domination that we've just seen from the Kings ever since the All-Star break. I mean, we've scored what, 5+ goals in every game back. Like we got
Yeah,
five,
and the
six,
power
and then
plays.
6. I mean, we're
Mhm.
top 5 in the league in power play now, like you said. It's just great to see. And I mean, for having a Kings organization that's always relied on defense and goaltending from Quick, and then also our defensive core has always been good. Seeing now that we just win games by scoring so many goals is just a refreshing thing to see, and I hope it just continues the rest of the time. But this also shows that if we make the playoffs, when we make the playoffs, that
Which is like a 90% chance. I actually was looking at this,
mhm,
based off odds,
on
but
track for 100 points, not 1,000. But if we make the playoffs, like our offense can steal a game from us, even if our defense is a little shaky and our goaltending is a little shaky, which is great to see.
for sure. And I mean, just consistently putting up goals is like it puts so much less pressure on Copley or Quickie. Yeah,
Things.
they could take over a game. But I mean, in the what's it called in the playoffs last season, um, it felt like we really had to play insane defense to win a game. And now, obviously, it doesn't necessarily feel like that because of our offense.
Yeah, I mean, last year we relied on that second line and even our first line just having to beat their first or second line to win a game. Right? That's what it came down to. And playing against McDavid on the top line, Draisaitl on the second line, that was very hard to do for the Kings. Right? But
Yeah,
now, okay, we take the top line and the second line. You guys match against McDavid and Draisaitl. Just don't let in a goal. Let the third line and the fourth line score goals. And we're totally capable of doing that now, especially matching up against the third and fourth line of the Western teams. So I mean,
yep,
it's just a great thing to have and great for matchups, especially at home when we can choose the matchups that we want. So yeah, let's get into the standout players then. I'll let you go first.
another game with Victor Arvidsson just really looking good, dude. He's a menace, bro. Like his shot is nasty, and again, his little moves he does are just stupid. He's super good.
Hmm. I'm gonna throw one to my boy Blake Lizotte. 7 shots on
Mm,
goal tonight, and I mean his goal today. I think it was an accidental deflection. I mean, I don't think he meant to do that, but we'll take it. Get him back on the
yeah,
board. Also had an assist today, so I mean, looking good.
yeah. Next one would probably be Mikey Anderson. Just because of his physicality again. He's always finishing his checks, which every team has one guy that does typically. And Mikey Anderson leads our team in hits, and it's just great to see.
All right, we're gonna have a crazy one here. Okay, are you ready for it?
No,
Todd McClellan, standout guy for
what?
balancing the lines today. Nobody played over 20 minutes. The highest one was Kopitar at 18-17. After that, everybody's below 16. That is
Really?
amazing to do, especially when we have a back to back, and that is trusting all 4 of your lines. Like I know we got screwed up with a bunch of penalties and stuff like that, but let's see where's Kaliev. Kaliev got 13 minutes and 50 seconds with sitting in the box for 5 minutes. So you're getting everybody involved off the bat, and I mean that is just great to see and trusting all four of your lines.
Yeah. Damn. Well, that'll lead us into our next point. So why RJ is sharing that is because, as all of you know, we have a back-to-back. So tomorrow we play the Arizona Coyotes at 7:30 at home. And to me,
With
it almost feels
Jacob
like
Chikrin on our roster though, he's getting traded over and he's coming over on the plane and he's gonna play for us tomorrow night.
right.
Putting
It
it out
almost
there.
feels like a must-win, but it's not. But it does feel like a must-win. So
It's a must win because the Kraken won last night. That's what's making it feel like that, and the Oilers won as well. So,
and 1 point down from first place with the Vegas having one game at hand. So
hmm
this is exactly where we want to be.
yeah, let's pull up the standings here. So yeah, like you said, we're 1 point behind the Kraken, or behind the Knights, sorry, and we have one game. We're one game ahead of them, and the Kraken we're 1 point ahead of with one game at hand, and then we're two above the Oilers, but we're dead even in games with them. So we need to just keep winning games, especially against these non-playoff teams.
Yeah. As always, thank you for watching.
Go Kings, go!
Go Kings, go.